Now, I have made a very short presentation in writing which will pass you at the end of it so that you don't have to worry about what we have said. And I have also tried to make it as simple as possible because the language of the law can be intimidating and sometimes confusing, especially to journalists, right? Now, until now, the APC avoided making statements or pronouncements on the raging controversy with regards to the legality of the APC and that of its chairman. It left the matter to be attended to by the leaders and stakeholders of the party because we are interested candidates and loyal servants of the party. Secondly, another major reason was that until now, the full judgment of the Supreme Court was not available. What has been in the press are summaries here and there. Now, as a law teacher, we always caution students against relying on summaries because a lot of times the meat of the decision is left out. Now, there is always potential danger in commenting on incomplete picture when relying on newspaper reports of a case. This precaution is now confirmed upon due reading of the full judgment of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. A release was made yesterday on this. This press conference will therefore only briefly concentrate on two issues, as many other issues were considered and decided by the Supreme Court. Other relevant issues, if any, could be taken through questions from the press. Now, the two issues are, if the APC is illegal. Secondly, if the position of the chairman of PC, His Excellency Maimala Buni, in holding dual office as governor and chairman is illegal. On both issues, we state the position and decision of the Supreme Court only. The decision here is the majority judgment of the Supreme Court, which is now the law. The decision and judgment was read and concurred to by the justices who were in the majority. Any other statements in their various additional contributions by the justices complement the lead judgment. I say this because I've heard a lot of statements by commentators saying the majority of the justices didn't say this or didn't say that. Now, this is because they don't know the procedure of the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal when they are working in panels. The lead judgments are usually circulated and discussed by them, to which, once they concur, it becomes their judgment. Now, there's a requirement of law that they have to write judgments in writing. Some would simply say, well, I have read what my learned brother said. I have nothing else to add. I concur. That's his judgment. Now, while his learned brother, the lead judgment now reads, becomes his judgment completely. Another person will adopt what the lead judgment writer, justice, has written, but also go on to add, to expatiate on areas he's interested in. And even in this present judgment, this is what has happened. You find some of the judges who agreed with the lead judgment also went ahead to discuss some other issues which are not covered there, or which are actually covered there, but also amplified on it. But overall, there is no disagreement on everything in the lead judgment. So that's why it becomes a majority judgment. Now, it is therefore right to say that the issues and ratio independent judgment reflects the views of majority, as I just explained. The minority judgment, although important as it is not the judgment of the court. A lot of times, minority judgments get very attractive, especially to lawyers, students, teachers. You know, because they go into a lot of certain details. But that's what it is. It remains a minority judgment. It's not a majority judgment of the court. It's not a judgment of the court. So I take them one by one. As I said, it's very short. The Nigerian Supreme Court, in its judgment, affirmed the legality of the caretaker's extraordinary convention planning committee. This court stated that the NEC, National Executive Committee of the APC, under Article 13(3)(4) of the APC Constitution, has power to create, elect, and appoint a committee and endow it with powers and functions. It even went ahead to draw a parallel with Article 3(3) sub 3 of PDP Constitution 2012, which gave similar powers to its national convention, which in turn appointed a national caretaker committee in 2016, which the Supreme Court ruled to be legal. This case is Sheriff versus PDP. Secondly, on the status of the acting national chairman, His Excellency Buni, the Supreme Court held that he was appointed only in acting capacity on temporary basis to carry out and fill in the seat of the national chairman, pending the election of new officers. The Apex Court held that Buni's position as acting chairman of the caretaker and extraordinary convention planning committee is not contrary to the provision of Section 183 of the Constitution of the Republic of Nigeria, because the appointment is ad hoc, is on a temporary basis, which is not akin to executive office or paid employment, as envisaged by 183 of the Constitution. In any case, the court further stated very clearly, very categorically, it ruled that the second respondent, a registered, which is APC, a registered political party, being a voluntary organization, the question of who should hold offices in it, whether it can appoint its members to hold office in acting capacity or authorize a member to exercise the powers of an office, and whether it has violated its own constitution by appointing a member to hold a particular office in it or discharge the functions of that office, cannot be entertained by any court. This is very important. Those questions deal with the internal administration of the affairs of the political party. Those are not justiciable questions. When the court says they are not justiciable, it means you cannot go to court and ask for relief because they are internal affairs.